Dr. Fu, let's talk about Chinese state-owned enterprises, because the Americans say that they have an unfair advantage because they're so well supported by the government in China that they don't really need to be that competitive. What do you say to that?
I think after last 40 years reform, that China corporations has transformed from entirely SOE or collectively owned enterprises to now most of the enterprises are privately owned, and only a very small number of SOE exists. For the last 45 years, the SOE has almost entirely transformed from the government-owned supported to market-oriented, compete in the commercial world, behave very much like a commercial enterprise. Today, the state-owned, it only means the government is the shareholders, and the interaction between the SOE and the owner is shareholder and company's relations.
So it's a completely transformed picture as you describe. If we look at the last 40 years, China has changed economically beyond recognition.
Right.
What would you say to businesses that may be interested in coming into China at this time? What's China going to look like for them in, say, 2 to 5 years from now?
I think from the international investors' point of view, the Chinese economy, after 40 years rapid expansion, development, modernization, but still there are a lot of opportunities. And the foreign enterprises will still have some niche in the area where the services, the high value added part, I think they will still find the room where they can do their business.
Everybody wants to be part of this China or America story because they're the two biggest economies today. But China in particular is this accelerating economy still. What are some of the areas, you mentioned services for example, but if you break that down, what are some of the prime areas of opportunity for them to leverage?
I would think healthcare would be a typical one. And as China is also become an aging society, where the Medicare and pharmaceutical research, in the way China is still behind the West, in particular maybe behind the US. And we would hope very much this healthcare industry would draw the experiences from the advanced economy, where also the business community would find, and China will be a very interesting, attractive market.
There are still concerns, of course, from the business community. You mentioned that doing business in China is not straightforward and can in fact be very complex, even expensive. The relationship with the United States is changing as we speak.
Right.
What would you like for this new era of relations, no matter what happens after Osaka and the G20?
Let's hope this trade frictions or trade fight will not prolong for too long, and I think it's hurting both sides, in particular hurting the consumers. Today the Sino-US economy and businesses so much coupled together, and although China has achieved remarkable progress, many industries today China is number one. But if you look at closely, that with many number one industries, it was combined efforts of China with the West. Many of them are from the United States. So I don't think that, I hope the two governments are not really, stopping the exchanges and the cross-border investment. Of course, the cross-border trade is benefiting both sides and both side people.
Obviously, there is a positive tone in your narrative. I wonder, though, whether you are excited as well, because when countries push each other and when there is tension for whatever reason, and when they're well-resourced, like China and the United States are, that's also an opportunity for upgrading, for innovation as well. Do you think we'll see that with China and what it offers the world, that perhaps despite the tensions that exist right now, it could lead to a far richer outcome for all?
I would think so. I mean, the collaborations, international collaborations, has been ongoing with the last 30 or 20 years in particular, that has brought a lot of economic progress. The technology development with China's big market, where the U.S. innovative research work will be the most benefit everybody if it can be combined. Of course, if there's a slowdown in the exchanges, collaborations, the China would also, I mean, company will pursue their own research and probably putting more resources on the R&D side, and they also hopefully will trade in some of the progress as well. But I still have a strong believer in the global collaborations. Hopefully, it will not be something beyond I mean, I would assume everybody would see the benefit of that.
The world is bracing itself for a global society of 5G and a digital era, even an aging but hopefully a healthy one as well. Dr. Fu Yining, thank you very much for your insights on this.
Yeah, thank you.